Hello. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody is having a good Tuesday. It's Merry Tuesday. You you hope. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing good. Uh, what's everybody been up to today? I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. Uh, and when you hit Memorial Day weekend, you know summer travel has officially kicked off. You know, people are ready to travel, they're ready to go on. Anyways, well, welcome in, Dave Spragan. Welcome in, Harlan. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys are. Hope we'll have some more people here in a few minutes. We probably won't be going too long tonight, guys. Just physically, work's got me beat after my first 10-hour day. Oh boy, what a day! All right, wasn't a bad day, just long hours. Well, I must be tired. Or I even got the wrong banner up. There we go. Now we're good. Excuse me. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in. All right. So tonight my topic's pretty much being just an ordinary topic. When you guys are planning for vacations, just talking about planning vacations, how do you change your plans on how you plan for vacations as time goes on, or do you change them, or do you do things differently for different vacations? I know me, most of the time, my planning vacation comes from usually where I'm going, what I'm doing. So, but, you know, it's hard to get my head thought. I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning, so it's been kind of tired. So, anyways, vacations. What do you do and how do you plan vacations? Well, like right now, I'm planning my vacation because in about 2 weeks, I will be heading north to Michigan, and I will definitely be heading to Baltimore, Maryland in August. So, my planning comes like this. I look at where I'm going to go, what I'm doing, particularly since I'm going to start traveling more starting in the next year. I'm already getting ready to travel for next year. I've already got two cruises. I already got two cruises that I'm already going to try to book as soon as things slow down here and I can, once I get the new house settled in on the property sometime, hopefully by September we'll have the new house on the property. Then I will actually physically book. I don't know. I may book one of the cruises within the next couple of weeks, depending on what kind of deals. Found one I am actually, was looking at one cruise, found some good deals on Carnival, but not gonna be able to book it at this moment. I almost thought about doing it because I could have booked it for $100, and I would have gotten what I wanted. But not quite yet. Anyways, how you doing, Jason? How you doing, Harlan? I'm actually surprised you're over here, Harlan. Especially with Tinkerbell going on. I'm actually kind of watching Tinkerbell and doing my own show at the same time. But you know, so how do you actually guys plan on where do you guys going? I mean, you know, sometimes, honestly, I like to fly by the seat of my pants and just pick up and go where I just look at something and say, you know what, I want to go here. She's on currently right now, Harlan. She just started at 7. She actually started at the same time I did. So if you want to hop over there, I understand, buddy. If you hop over there, tell Tinkerbell I said hi, that I actually had to do my show. I tried not to overstep people's bounds, but I had to start it a little bit later tonight than I normally do. So, when I'm traveling during the summer, and when I decide, because every summer, for years we would travel by car up and down the I-75 the I-75 corridor, up and down between Michigan and Florida, and for years. Yeah, see though. I'll probably try. I'll probably be joining there. I'll be probably heading over to the show after. I'll probably only do a half an hour show tonight and then heading over there after I'm done. So, yep. Tell her I said hi, Harlan. But yeah, when I look at it, it's like, sometimes it's like putting up sheets of paper on the dartboard, and then you throw the darts, and you hope your dart, you hope your dart hits a certain one, but yet you put a whole bunch of options and you start throwing the darts, and then you just like almost see where you're going. But planning a vacation, I mean, because obviously I don't know how everybody else does it, but when I do plan a vacation, I sit down and I budget I mean, I budget what I can spend, how much do I want to spend, budget for hotels when I go. But, you know, so, I actually sit down and kind of budget sometimes. And for me, it works because I'm also flexible because, I mean, when it comes to money, I sit down and do budget the money, this, and this, and what I allow and what I will actually spend on vacation and how much I'll spend. But, it is what and sometimes you need to plan some of these things out, especially if you're going on trips. I mean, obviously, when I'm going on a cruise, I'm going to be planning this out. I mean, okay, what do I need to take? What do I need to do? Um, you know, what do I actually want to do if we stop at ports? So as I'm doing it, I'm sitting there, I'm writing things out, I'm making, I may be making a ledger of things when I do it. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes like I said, there's sometimes I do travel by the seat of the pants, and I head out and just go away for a weekend and say, you know what, the heck with it. We just need to get out of town, and boom, 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 and sometimes I end up in Tampa, sometimes I end up in St. Augustine, sometimes I end up down in Daytona, sometimes I end up in Orlando. But I mean, I know I'm going to start budgeting more things this coming year for traveling. Um, and, it is what it is. And ooh, I apologize about the hair. I promise the hair's going to get cut this week. Um, but yeah, I'm just budgeting things, and it is what it. And as I'm looking at, I mean, like Baltimore, I'm having to budget that. The good thing is I don't have to actually plan that because Pete and his team have all prepped that out. But I do have to budget. You know, this is how much I have to give towards the hotel. Um, you know, so it's very curious as to what I do and plan. So I mean, even when I'm doing short weekend trips, sometimes I do plan them out. Sometimes I just go by the seat of, like I said, I go by the seat of the pants. Um, but when you actually sit it down, if you're the type of person that actually likes to sit down and plan things out, I mean, where do you start? Do you start with budget eyes, or well, obviously your first thing would be to where do you want to travel to? I mean, and how do you want to get there? I mean, if you're traveling to another state, obviously, do you want to drive? Do you want to fly? And something that I'm going to be trying this year is if I can get things prepped, I want to actually take a train. Um, I'm actually going to send a train. I'm going to actually do a train up to Baltimore, Maryland you know, for Disney. There's a bunch of us in the Disney community that are a bunch of streamers, mods, just friends that hang out in the community. And Pete McDevitt, who, if you don't know, hey Joe, welcome in. Um, yeah, well, see, you didn't miss the show. Not much of a show because Harlan came in, but Tinkerbell's going on. So I said I understand if you went over to Tinkerbell. Um, but I was just talking about summer vacations here, and it's like you know growing up, Mom always planned things on how we travel. Of course, Jason's still in here, in and out. So it's good to see him. Um, so I'm just curious when do you guys plan things out, Joe? I mean, outside of the minor stuff, or do you plan a whole vacation? I mean, when I was growing up, and I was talking about because you know I'm the type of person that loves to plan certain things, but yet still be flexible. But when it comes down to it, I like to know what things are going to cost. So I try to set a budget for each trip I go on. And even now today, um, like my mom wrote down everything. She would write down what she had to do to prepare for the trip, what she had to do just before the trip, how much she could spend on the way up to wherever we're going. Get the Mickey Mouse. No, you did not miss any news from Tinkerbell. I can guarantee you Captain Mickey Mouse is going to be a little while because she's getting ready to go on a cruise. And I will talk to her once she gets back. She's getting ready to leave on another cruise to Europe. So I will give her a couple of weeks and then I will talk to her and set up a date, okay? Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to bug her right now because I knew she was getting ready to go on a cruise. But I did give her the name of the two ships, and then that you wanted her to compare, and she did say she was going to do it. Yeah, see, that's kind of the way I do it. I lay out a list of everything that I kind of need, and then there's our good friend Mama D. Hello, Mama D. In fact, I can already tell you one trip that I will be making, and I promised Mama D, and it's still on my list, Mama D. I will get down to Fort Lauderdale sometime in the fall. Lord willing, if I can afford it, I will get down to Fort Lauderdale in the fall. Even if I have to take an Amtrak for a 2 or 3 hour ride, or a 5 to 6 hour ride. Samara, wait a minute, Samara, weren't you just in Tinkerbell's thing? I am not staying in no Motel 7. I ain't even staying. Hello, Samara. Welcome in. Oh, with you. No, I'm not staying in no Motel 7. I will do a decent hotel, probably more like a Western. You did jump? Yeah, because I know they're talking about her trip that's coming up. She's talking about planning and all that she's doing to get ready for her booking. Well, good thing I don't have to worry about the rental fare. And I'm hoping if some people would get off their dust and get my Amtrak thing approved, I will be settling in on my Amtrak thing, but apparently hasn't been approved. And I'll have to inquire later this week again as to. I have rules real good. Oh, you always do, Samara. You always do. I only do hotels without dogs. You only do hotels without dogs. Oh, come on. What's wrong with not having dogs at the hotels? But yeah, I usually, when I plan things, I don't plan things like my mom does, but I do say, okay, I actually kind of lay out a small budget. I mean, money type, not just money. What do I actually need for the trip? Do I need winter clothes? I'm kind of like you. I make a list of, I don't do a full planning program. But, I do make a list of, okay, I need to do this, 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 this. I need to make sure that everything at the house is okay. Yeah, see, it's still not up there. Somebody needs to get back to me real quick on it. But, yeah, so, for me, I mean, which way, Jill, do you find it a little bit more easier being flexible and doing it when going on trips, except for certain things that you need to plan out? I mean, obviously, you have to you have to plan out budgetary things for a little bit, but doesn't necessarily mean you have to do the whole thing. I mean, my mom, she budgeted everything. She budgeted down to what she needs to pack, a list of everything that she needs to do around the house, um, a list of how much money needs to be broken up for. Like she would break it up into three sections. How money to spend on the way to wherever we were traveling to, money to spend while we were at the place, and then money for. No, I haven't heard. Nope, I have not heard the Little Mermaid musical yet. Um, Christensen, welcome in, buddy. Wow, that is out. That is outstanding, Jill. That is outstanding. John, hello, sir. Speaking of speaking of people, we were just kind of talking about the Baltimore trip a little bit because I was talking about. Nope, there was no updates. They have not done any updates to the Disney Wish yet, Christian. No updates on it. We were just actually talking about the Baltimore trip, John. No, we were just talking about because I was talking about it's summer vacation now, and people are getting ready to go on vacation. I mean, I was just talking about how funny some people plan things out. Some just say, "Let's go here." They do it by the seat of their pants, and they say, "Let's just take off. Let's go on vacation. Let's do this." And you know, everybody does a little planning for any vacation, but some do it more flexible compared to others. Like my mom, she was a planner for most things. Um, you know, Personally because she was budget conscious. So, like if we were doing, even if we went to Michigan, I'm sure they'll have your garbage cans ready for you, Debbie, with motorized wheels on them. No, I'm glad you're excited for the Baltimore trip. That is awesome. Um, I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, this is the Baltimore trip is going to be the first big trip that I will take outside of any traveling that I've done with any. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. You know you love it. You're smiling. I know. I know. I'll hear about it when I get up to Baltimore. But yeah, so we were just talking about. I'm just talking about planning because Memorial. Thing about it is we just had Memorial Day, and that's usually the kickoff of summer funds for most families and vacations, and You know, a lot of schools are out. Now, I know not all schools are out, but a lot are. And, you know, and sometimes you plan it, sometimes I don't. And it just gets to be crazy. I know for a fact that I need to get over to Pensacola. I'm trying to I'm trying to pencil in a couple of trips. Yeah, that's what they say, Jill. Personally, I don't know about being on the road, but I think I might be on the rail if they would ever give me if they would ever buck down and approve my for the Amtrak so I can get my Amtrak tickets bought. I'm gonna have to start looking at. But so it's crazy on how you have to prepare sometimes, and sometimes you don't. It's what it is. And I legitimately, I'm just curious, how many of actually do you fully plan? Debbie, I know you plan out your whole trips anywhere you go. That's kind of what my mom does too. She had everything written down to almost to a T. I mean, maybe not everything. Yep, and it'll be good to see a lot of people. But and well, that Benedict Arnold. Okay, wait till I get my hold of my executive producer. He's fired. Okay, Debbie, you might want to come on stream one night because if I get a hold of Mike, I'm firing him as my executive producer. Yeah. Yes, lots of hugging. Yeah, well, you know what? And here's the thing. Yeah, I'm firing his tail. He's over in Tinkerbell's show instead of mine. Wait till I see that executive producer of mine. Oh, am I going to fire his tail? Okay. I, okay. I'll wait till I see him. Wait till I see that former executive producer. Okay. All right. That Benedict Arnold. Okay. That's okay. I went an hour later, so that's okay. I understand. She's getting ready to go on a cruise, and he's just trying to find out about cruises because I know he wants to do he wants to do a cruise, and he's just asking questions. I understand it. I'm gonna heckle him about it to death, but I understand it. Actually, I should heckle him about it right now. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of like you are, Jill. There's some things that I plan out. Yeah, I know he's asking Tinkerbell questions. My executive producer, he's in big trouble. Oh, is he in big trouble? Yeah, he Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Wait till I get a hold of him. In fact, I'm going to give him a little shock in the dark right now. Wait till I start some quiet. Wait till the good thing. It's good thing Mama D ain't on the show with me right now because I'm about to stir up some. I'm about to stir up some craziness. They are, but here's an issue. Actually, speaking of, we will talk a little Disney here, and this is how much, and this is why me and Dean were talking about this last night. If anybody paid attention, um, how actually it's going to be hard to stream the villain show because there's copyright issues at the start of the thing. You're on your phone, so you can only watch me. Oh, good. Then I'm free to cause havoc. I love it. Woohoo! All right. Nothing better than causing havoc on a travel show. Usually, traveling that causes havoc anyways, without having to cause it yourself. Um, what? I just sent Mike a message of why are you okay, producer? What are you doing on Tinkerbell's show and not mine? I just told him I was kidding. No, I was kidding. I ain't being bad. I'm just being. I was just asking a question. Yeah, there you go. I was just asking a question. What? I am behaving. I am behaving. Now, how am I not behaving? Wow. But anyways, so travel. When it comes to choosing where you're going and setting your plans and setting what you need to do. Oh, tomorrow just drops the news that they released the date for July 20th, I guess, is going to be the Magic Kingdom parade. So, but anyways, yeah, so, whether you plan or whether you just fly by the seat, sometimes it's the best to intermingle it and do a little bit of both. So whatever you guys are doing this summer, wherever you're traveling, whether you plan or whether you just fly by the seat, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you plan for everything. Make sure you plan for details, because one thing you always should plan, one thing you should always do, and even if you're doing by the flight of the seat, make sure you plan for emergencies, because you never know when something's going to happen. And that's the craziness of it. But like I said, I knew I wasn't going to go late tonight, guys. I just wanted to come on and actually just do a little bit of a show. I didn't expect it to get a little bit this nutty. I just was going to plan on chatting and talking, and hope y'all are having a great Tuesday. Tomorrow is hump day. Yay! I only got one more day of work after tomorrow, and then I'm off on Friday, but then I got to move to the new place this weekend, so still kind of wrapping up things here at the house. So, but anyways, all right, guys. In fact, I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll call it a night. I hope y'all have a great day. Thursday, we will do the cruise show. It will be on time. And again, I'm going to we've looked at most of the Disneys. I'm probably going to go back and look at another Royal Caribbean ship.
Whether it's luxury or fun in the sun, Dave's got the tips to make your cruise #1. Tune in, sit back, let's plan your stay on Cantrell Countries Travelway. It's Cantrell Countries Travelway, setting sail on adventure every day. From island south to ocean blue, we got your cruising covered through and through. Pack your bags and set your sights. We're cruising seas and booking flights from the ports to the waves where dreams come alive. Dave Cantrell is here to guide your ride. It's Cantrell Countries Travelway, setting sail on adventure every day. From island south to ocean blue, we've got your cruising covered through and through.
Anyway, so yeah, with that, guys, I'm going to call it a night, because my brain is having a hard time thinking. All I know is that when you guys are traveling this summer, stay safe. Plan your trips, or if you plan, or at least plan, keep some plans flexible. Sometimes you have to plan. Like I said, the one good thing about the Baltimore, Maryland trip is that planning's all done for us. All we have to do is enjoy the trip up and the trip home, and pray and hope that, Mama D stays out of trouble. Anyways, guys, so with that, I'm going to call it a night. Have a great night. Have a great birthday, Jill. Oh. I'm not even in my 50s. I'm only in my 20s. So I'm still way young. Anyways, guys, have a great night. We'll see you all on the Cruise Line show on Thursday. Sorry tonight was a little bit later, but work kind of had me pushed back, and it was our first 10-hour day. Yay, nice, Joe. Cool. I wish I could, but I'll be asleep probably by then. Yeah. So we'll see you all soon.